The Ring of Fire, nature's fiery circle. Introduction, a circle of fire beneath our feet. When we look at a world map, the Pacific Ocean seems endless, a vast expanse of blue stretching across the globe. But around its edges lies something extraordinary. The Ring of Fire. This horseshoe-shaped belt is one of the most violent and mysterious regions on Earth. Here, volcanoes rise from the sea, earthquakes shake the land, and tsunamis sweep across coastlines. It is the stage where Earth's greatest dramas unfold. The Ring of Fire is more than just a geographical term. It is a living force that has shaped human civilizations, destroyed cities, and inspired myths of gods and demons. It is both a destroyer and a creator, tearing down land only to build new islands, fertilizing soil with ash, and giving life even as it threatens it. In this journey, we will explore the science, the stories, the tragedies, and the triumphs of the Ring of Fire. We will step into ancient eruptions, hear survivor accounts of disasters, dive into the deepest trenches, and imagine the dangers that lie ahead. What is the Ring of Fire? Despite its name, the Ring of Fire is not a burning circle of flames. It is a chain of over 450 volcanoes and countless fault lines that trace the edges of the Pacific Ocean like a fiery necklace. Stretching more than 40,000 kilometers, it runs through countries like Chile, the United States, Japan, the Philippines, Indonesia, New Zealand, and many more. Around 75% of the world's active volcanoes are found in this ring, and nearly 90% of all earthquakes occur here. Imagine standing on a planet that constantly trembles, where the land itself is never fully at rest. That is life on the Ring of Fire, the science beneath the surface plate tectonics. To understand the Ring of Fire, we must look beneath the Earth's surface. Our planet is not solid like a rock, but broken into giant puzzle pieces called tectonic plates. These plates float slowly on a layer of molten rock called the mantle. They move only a few centimeters each year, about the same speed as your fingernails grow. But when plates collide, the results can be catastrophic. Around the Pacific plate is constantly sliding, colliding, and diving beneath other plates in a process called subduction. When one plate is forced under another, it melts into magma. This magma rises to the surface, creating volcanoes. At the same time, the immense pressure causes earthquakes. Think of it as the Earth's breathing. The plates shift, crack, and grind. And with each movement, the planet exhales its fiery breath through volcanoes and earthquakes. Countries of the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is not just one place. It touches dozens of countries, each with its own stories of beauty and danger. Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Chile, Peru, Mexico, the United States, Canada, and even small Pacific islands are all part of this fiery circle. For the people who live here, the Ring of Fire is both a blessing and a curse. Its fertile soils grow rice, coffee, and grapes. Its geothermal energy powers homes and cities. But it also brings eruptions, tsunamis, and quakes that can destroy entire communities in moments. Japan, shaken by the sea and sky. Japan is one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world. Sitting on the meeting point of 4 tectonic plates, it is constantly under threat. In 2011, the Great East Japan earthquake struck with a magnitude of 9.0. The ground shook violently, but the real terror came from the ocean. A massive tsunami roared onto the coast, swallowing towns, cars, and ships. More than 15,000 people lost their lives. Centuries earlier, in 1707, Mount Fuji erupted, blanketing Tokyo in ash. And yet, this same fiery force gave Japan hot springs, fertile farmland, and the majestic Mount Fuji itself, a national symbol. The Japanese people have learned to live with this constant tension, preparing, adapting, and honoring the balance between destruction and beauty. Indonesia, the land of 1,000 volcanoes. Indonesia has more active volcanoes than any other country, over 120 active peaks. The archipelago sits like a giant jigsaw puzzle of islands, each shaped by volcanic fire. Among its many volcanoes, one stands out in history, Krakatoa. In 1883, Krakatoa erupted with a force so violent it destroyed most of the island. The explosion was heard as far away as Australia and India, nearly 3,000 miles from the source. Waves over 40 meters high swept across coastlines, killing more than 36,000 people. The ash cloud was so massive that it darkened skies around the world and cooled global temperatures. Sunsets turned blood red, and strange colors painted the skies for years. But Indonesia's volcanoes also give life. The soil is among the most fertile on Earth, supporting rice fields and lush forests. Millions continue to live in the shadow of volcanoes, accepting the risk as part of daily life. The Philippines, fire meets water. The Philippines lies directly on the Ring of Fire and is home to some of the most active volcanoes in the world. Mayon Volcano, known for its perfect cone shape, has erupted more than 50 times. In 1991, Mount Pinatubo erupted in one of the largest explosions of the 20th century. Ash rained down on cities. Roofs collapsed under the weight. The eruption sent particles high into the atmosphere, lowering global temperatures for 2 years. Air travel was disrupted across Asia. Yet even after this catastrophe, people returned to live on the fertile slopes, knowing that the same volcano that destroyed homes also enriches the soil. New Zealand, the land of steam and fire. New Zealand's landscapes are shaped by fire. In the North Island, geysers shoot boiling water into the air, mud pools bubble, and geothermal fields hiss with steam. This land is alive. The Maori people tell stories of gods and spirits who live in the mountains and rivers, giving cultural meaning to the land's restlessness. In 2019, the White Island eruption reminded the world of the risks. Tourists visiting the volcanic island were caught in an explosion of ash and gas, and many lives were lost. The tragedy showed how quickly beauty can turn to danger on the Ring of Fire. Chile, the world's most powerful earthquakes. Chile sits on the edge of the South American plate, where the Nazca Plate dives beneath it. This subduction zone has created one of the most seismically active regions on Earth. In 1960, Chile experienced the most powerful earthquake ever recorded, magnitude 9.5. The quake shook for more than 10 minutes, toppling buildings and tearing apart roads. It created a tsunami that traveled across the Pacific, striking Hawaii, Japan, and even the Philippines. Scientists estimate that the earthquake released more energy than all the nuclear bombs detonated during World War II combined. Chile's volcanoes and earthquakes have shaped its history, but they also define its resilience. The people rebuild after each disaster, creating stronger buildings and communities that endure. Alaska, frozen but fiery. Alaska may seem like a land of ice and snow, but beneath its glaciers lies immense volcanic power. The Aleutian Islands form a chain of volcanic peaks that stretch into the Pacific. In 1912, the Novarupta eruption became the largest eruption of the 20th century. It released more ash than Krakatoa and buried the Valley of 10,000 Smokes under thick volcanic deposits. Even today, Alaska's volcanoes are closely watched. Ash clouds can reach jet engines, making flights dangerous. Pilots crossing the Pacific must remain alert to warnings from scientists monitoring the skies. North America's west coast, California and Cascadia. The United States is not safe from the Ring of Fire. California lies along the famous San Andreas Fault, where the Pacific Plate and North American Plate grind against each other. Scientists warn of the possibility of the Big One, a massive earthquake that could devastate cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco. Further north, the Cascadia subduction zone hides an even greater threat. This fault could unleash a magnitude 9 earthquake followed by a tsunami that would strike the coasts of Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. History shows that such quakes occur roughly every 300 to 600 years. The last one struck in the year 1700, sending a tsunami all the way to Japan. Another could happen at any time. Tsunamis, waves of destruction. The Ring of Fire is also the birthplace of the world's most deadly tsunamis. When earthquakes shift the ocean floor, they displace massive amounts of water. Waves travel across the ocean at the speed of a jet plane, invisible in deep water but towering when they reach the shore. In 2004, an earthquake off the coast of Indonesia triggered a tsunami that killed more than 230,000 people across 14 countries. It was one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. Entire villages were wiped off the map in minutes. The power of tsunamis is a constant reminder that the Ring of Fire's danger extends beyond land. It commands the oceans as well. Myths and legends of fire. For thousands of years, people have told stories to explain the fire beneath their feet. In Hawaii, the goddess Pele is said to live in the volcanoes, creating land as her lava flows into the sea. In Japan, volcanoes were seen as homes of gods who shaped the islands. In South America, the Mapuche people believed volcanoes were spirits expressing their anger. These myths reveal a universal truth. Humans have always looked to the Ring of Fire with a mixture of fear and respect. It is both sacred and terrifying, a reminder that the Earth is alive. Strange and fascinating facts. The deepest point on Earth, the Mariana Trench, is part of the Ring of Fire. At nearly 7 miles deep, it is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Some volcanoes in the Ring of Fire erupt not on land but beneath the sea, creating new islands. Volcanic eruptions can change the climate worldwide. After Pinatubo erupted in 1991, global temperatures dropped by half a degree. The ash from volcanoes contains minerals that enrich the soil, making it some of the most fertile land on Earth. The ring's gifts life from destruction. Despite the danger, the Ring of Fire provides countless gifts. Fertile soil grows rice in Indonesia, grapes in Chile, and tea in Japan. Geothermal energy powers homes in New Zealand and Iceland. Minerals formed underground are used in technology, medicine, and construction. Without the Ring of Fire, our world would be very different. It is both a threat and a treasure chest of resources that humanity depends on. The future of the Ring of Fire. Scientists around the world study the Ring of Fire with satellites, sensors, and supercomputers. Warning systems now give people precious minutes or hours before earthquakes and tsunamis strike. Still, the Ring of Fire remains unpredictable. A volcano can erupt with little warning. An earthquake can happen at any moment. The question is not if another disaster will strike, but when. And when it does, millions of lives may be affected. Yet history shows that people along the Ring of Fire have always adapted. Cities are rebuilt, communities survive, and life continues. Closing, living with fire. The Ring of Fire is a story of balance. It is destruction and creation, tragedy and renewal. It is the breathing of the Earth itself, a reminder that beneath our calm skies, the planet is alive and restless. To live along the Ring of Fire is to live with constant risk, but also with constant wonder. It is to walk on land that is both fragile and powerful, where every mountain, every tremor, every wave tells the story of our planet's fiery heart. The Ring of Fire is not just a place on the map. It is the Earth's greatest stage, where the drama of creation never ends.